many in the UK are discussing the UK's decision to send non-lethal aid to Ukraine. And to discuss this further, we've got William Spring, who's joining us over the phone. Mr. Spring, David Cameron has spoken about the first time the UK wants to actually send this explicit training mission to the Ukrainian government. We know this is a clear message to Moscow. What significance do you think this move will have on the crisis in Ukraine in particular?
Well, the whole situation is absolutely outrageous. I mean, the French and the Germans, together with Mr. Putin, have been making an effort to find common ground and get some sort of compromise. At this very moment, when there is a chance of peace, David Cameron, at the behest of the United States, a poodle, just like Blair was, only he's a conservative poodle, decides to send British troops to Ukraine. Ukraine is not a British interest in one sense. It's perfectly true that we have a long alliance with the people of the former Soviet Union, and we did guarantee the borders of Ukraine back in the 80s.
You're saying that Ukraine is not of a British interest for them to send these troops to the country, so why do you think the UK has made this decision now?
They're sending the troops because the Americans have told them to do so. I think that it's a really outrageous misuse of the limited military power that Britain has got. This is absolutely disgraceful, really. I am shocked beyond belief that the British should seek, and Mr. David Cameron should seek to sabotage the Franco-German initiative.
And do you think it will succeed in sabotaging then? Do you think this move will sabotage a peace agreement which is extremely shaky at the moment?
Yes, that is exactly what the purpose of this gesture is, to sabotage the peace deal. I think it will have an effect. I sincerely hope it doesn't derail it completely. But it's very clear that the British are the poodles of the United States. That is why we were never accepted into the European Union at the beginning by de Gaulle, because he said always Britain will follow the US line. Now, Obama wants to interfere in Ukraine, but doesn't want to be doing it too obviously, so he uses the British as mercenaries to do his dirty work.
Yeah, and we know that David Cameron did say that they're not going to be ruling out sending lethal aid to Ukraine if the ceasefire does fail. And we know that the British and the US are going to be sending their troops there. Could we then see this lethal aid reach its way to Ukraine either via, the British route or the American route?
Of course. I mean, the lethal aid is something that the West is becoming quite adept at providing. For example, in Syria, the recent memorandum with the Americans and the Turks. Now, the lethal aid doesn't differ very much from ordinary military aid. It's simply another way to describe British or Allied forces in theatre who are seeking to cause a load of trouble, as far as I can see. Because among the briefings to the press yesterday, David Cameron made this announcement in a small committee called the Liaison Committee. It wasn't on the floor of the House of Commons. Actually trying to find the announcement in Hansard, the record of proceedings of the House, was extremely difficult. So they tuck it away. They tuck away this major bombshell, really, away in a small committee meeting.
Mr. William Spring, I'm going to thank you there. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone from London.